Leonine energy is cardiovascular energy. So get your heart running and pumping, and check your self out for better health in your life. The South Node is your deepest spiritual impulse to follow your true heart, because when you are a big-hearted lion, and the South Node of destiny comes into your sign at the end of July and will be there for 18 whole months, you're going to go through a feeling where you want to go deep into your spiritual life.
Lunatic Astrology.
August of 1971 was the last time that the summer looked the same. You are going to experience a total solar eclipse in your sign in this month ahead, as well as unexpected surprises, cool news, and divine flow on things you want to work at to create success. This is a month for all the Leos listening today, especially the rising sign, sun and moon as well, where your life is going to radically begin to change. Is it happening overnight? No, but you're going to see something like a massive redirect energy building up through the entire month of August. And I'm really excited for all of the Leos out there, because this kind of sky is a reboot, a reset, and a redirection of some important part of your life. I don't want you to be afraid of the eclipse. Eclipses are not scary things to worry about. This is an eclipse that you've had before. You've gone through eclipses in the sign of Leo, but not often have those eclipses over the years been eclipses that were solar. In fact, while you experienced Leo eclipses in 1990, 91, and in August and February of 2009, and also back in 71, this is a lot like the 70s. This is where the eclipses are actually solar in your sign. Some of you, this will make no sense, because most of you will probably say, I was just born, or was growing up, I was a kid. But I'm saying the rarity is exciting. So in today's video, we're going to dive into all of the things you need to know about the month of August. We're going to break it down in terms of each week, week by week, in chronological order. And I want you to listen for your sun, moon, and rising. Now, sun sign, moon sign, and rising, maybe I'll get my editor Stella to insert, ding, ding, the difference between all three. But all said and done, sun is career and purpose, energy. Rising is your ascendant character, and your moon is how you think and feel. I think listen to all three, see how you feel about it. Now, one thing to know about this month ahead, and it's really, really important before I break it down week by week. You have come off of something on July the 29th, 30th, around that time. And that was where the sun co-joined with Jupiter in your Leo sky. And this was at 6 degrees of the sign of Leo. That means, especially if your sun or your moon or your rising is near 6 degrees of Leo, this is Jupiter's once every 12-year conjunction in your sign. It's extremely useful to know how rare it is. And this is resetting your whole life direction for a year. Leo sun, your career direction. Moon, maybe your home nest and where you live. And you Leo rising, how you present yourself as a big-hearted, bold, courageous celebrity, leader energy in the world. So that reset button happened just at the end of July. And now you are getting the feeling like you're starting something new. Only once every 12 years do you have this blessing. And Jupiter in your sign is indeed a blessing. And we can't forget about the South Node. The South Node is your deepest spiritual impulse to follow your true heart, because when you are a big-hearted lion, and the South Node of destiny comes into your sign at the end of July and will be there for 18 whole months, Jupiter will be with that node until July of 2027. You're going to go through a feeling August through to July of 27, where you want to go deep into your spiritual life. You want to know what it is you need to release and surrender and let go of. Is it a job? Is it a career path? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing? There's a tendency to recognize the spiritual dimension of life. If you haven't been in touch with it, you might start doing that. And you might want to also pay more attention to your health. Just because the South Node, if you're not leveling up on the spiritual plane over the next 18 months, you might also have to pay attention to your body and really love that body that you have. And Leonine energy is cardiovascular energy. So get your heart running and pumping, and check your self out for better health in your life in the next year ahead, but certainly starting in August. So I'm going to bring the sky up for you. I'm going to bring the chart up. We're going to go through turning the wheel together so you can see what I'm seeing, and we can lay it out together. This will be no longer than 30 minutes, Leos, because I have a tendency to go really long in these videos, and I don't know that you guys even watch all of them. I don't blame you. Like, it's hard to get through it all. So I'm going to make it easy for you to get through what we're about to share today, because it won't be super long. Now, if you want to learn astrology with me, and I'd love to have you in class, I am going to be teaching my 7th season of Sky Reader. That's to read your own natal sky. So Sky Read, be your own astrologer, and time your best life. That comes up in September. If you get wind of this video by the end of July, some of you may, that's the super deep discount, 40% off early bird price. And then you'll still have a bit of a discount in August, but none in September. So jump on, get on board. Weekly Q&As, live Zoom calls, teaching assistants helping me, Facebook and Discord group for meeting other students and sharing your results. It is a fun course. I love teaching it, and we're 7 weeks long this year, not only 6. So I added more stuff, and we have guest teachers every year. I think you'll enjoy that as well. Now, the guest teachers teach all kinds of cool topics, like how to find your place in the world, astrocartography, things like how to, figure out your health stuff based on your chart, wellness stuff. Hello, guys. You always ask me, rising sign, sun or moon, how do I listen to this thing in astrology? Well, your sun is who you really are. Think of it about your spiritual essence, your divine light, the flame of your soul that lives forever, takes on a body, and that body is the ascendant. You might think of your sun sign like the actor who plays the role in the movie. Your sun is the real you, and the role you're playing in the movie, well, that's your rising sign. You tend to look like that sign. You tend to act like the personhood of that character in the simulation. It is not your real self, but you need a vehicle for your spirit to express. And when we look at your moon sign, we think about how you feel and think about life, your happiness, your emotional blueprint, your subjective well-being. But you remember the moon is only reflecting the light of the spiritual essence of you, the sun. So therefore, it's a temporary aspect or an operating system for your consciousness. I see a lot of the time that people's moon sign is really useful when you want to see how you're going to feel about this sky, but it also connects you very strongly to energies of home, safety, nest, and mother. The moon is that stuff to do with the nurturant part of reality. When we talk about your sun sign, it can be father related material, but also connections to your purpose and career. For your soul is inherited, is on planet Earth to do something, right? And we usually call that a purpose of some kind. And lastly, the ascendant, very sensitive to your body, very sensitive to the fates and the circumstances of life. That is where your rising sign is, how you showed up, took the first breath of life. What was the sign on the eastern horizon at the time of birth? That's what the rising sign is. And it's very accurate for delineating astrology, at least until the age of mid-40s. And we begin to move back into our true self, into our solar energy. And we'll notice that our sun sign becomes as accurate, or can be more and more actively useful for prediction. Already, sometimes you'll look at children for the first 7 years, and they're operating primarily on sun sign energy. So when you're looking at your kids, definitely listen for their sun sign over their rising sign. All right, guys, here's that short form. Take it away. Let's go into the chart ahead. Here you have the sky. This is you, and I've got us up to August the 10th because I just want you to jumpstart into, holy moly, look at that, right? Would you look at all of that energy that you're actually experiencing this month? Let's go back to the beginning, though, and let me take you back to as we turn the corner on August the 1st. So basically, Jupiter and Sun have co-joined a couple days back. You're getting ready for a life reset. Jupiter is in your sign, but not visible until early September. He will be behind the beams of the sun. Early September. No, sorry. No, about 10th or 11th of August. He's behind the sun's beams. So there's a kind of deep inner questing, wanting to learn, know, and understand things in your life, and you're sort of laying low. If you have grand plans or things you're trying to accomplish, you're going to keep them to yourself, probably for the first half of August, but you're definitely experiencing a new beginning here. And one of the things about the beginning of the month is you're getting ready to complete Mercury's extremely long journey through your 12th house. You know, Mercury has been here in this part of your sky for a very long time, since June the 1st. And here we go. He's getting ready to say goodbye on the 9th of August. So all of this June and July with Mercury in your 12th house, a lot of you might have, first of all, been experiencing expenditures, spending more money than you usually do. He rules your money house, and this is a house of expenses and expenditures. And you probably had to lay out more money for various reasons. You also may have been plying deeply your spiritual life, paying attention to your dreams at night, maybe journaling, and spending quiet time in contemplation, in thought, or in new ideas. It's a very interior version. He's very quiet back here. So good news is he will enter on the 9th of August your sign, and that's going to feel like you want to tell the world stuff. You want to come up with new ideas. You want to think out loud. You want to get big, bold, good communication going. You might even be compelled to want to teach or learn something after the 9th of the month of August. Now, in that first beginning of the month as well, you're just getting used to the retrogradation of Saturn. He turned retrograde on the 27th of July, and he doesn't even go direct again until December. So now you're backpedaling on some things to do with your purpose, the meaning in your life, maybe backtracking on foreign and travel and foreign people and foreign things. It's kind of like going back to 7 degrees of Aries to recalibrate what you've been trying to figure out in your 9th house since February, mid-February of this year. Now, one of the things I want to talk about in the first week of the month is how you feel as you move into August 5th, 6th, and 7th. That is a nice feeling for you. You're going to go into a kind of sense of ease and relief about your relationship to this Saturn, because the Lord of your sign is working with that Saturn in a trine. So there's something about that early part of the month where around the 5th, 4th, 5th, and 6th even, you're going to say, this feels easier than it has before. It could be a legal settlement, a court case, a publishing deal, a foreign travel opportunity, a relationship with a sibling too older, higher educational advancement, and a sense that hard work and ease are coming together. Like you're kind of feeling a light about it, like stimulated and light lit up. And it's positive. The solar energy is supporting you to do something difficult in the 9th house. And the difficulty may be just getting your visa and passport renewed, getting that trip off the ground, arranging that pilgrimage. Okay, but it's going to feel like a nice vibe. So you're going to really like the energy here in that first week. And in fact, you know, the sun is your ruler, but Saturn also rules your work house. And Saturn also, Leo, your job, your work, all of that rules your marriage house. And you can expect marriage, long-term relationship, client relationships, and job and work situations to begin to flow in that first week. Not just the first week, closer to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th of August. That's your sweet golden time for ease in job, ease in your career, and ease with your spouse. Now, when we move past that week, we're going to talk about the 7th to the 14th. That's where that eclipse is waiting for you. Now, because it's in your sign, and because, as I said, it's not seen the same way since 1971, you're going to have to buckle up a bit because you don't know how to compare it to the eclipses of 2008, 2009, right? Or 1990, 91 that also happened in your sign. So this one is a total solar eclipse at 20 degrees of the sign of Leo. And for you, that is going to matter. If you're a Leo rising sun or moon and you have your placements 3 degrees even on either side of 20, so 17 to 23, that's going to really hit you as a very important moment and a very fated turning point. Don't think the eclipse is on a day. It's not. You'll feel it beginning to build up even a month before, and certainly up to 6 months after. It's pretty intense, even unto a year. And it's also important to know that the Leos who are in the early degrees, like let's go like 7, there's a 10-degree eclipse next August, also solar. So all Leos are getting an incredible amount of change energy, not only this summer, but next summer. All right, so I want you to just think of this eclipse as it's what it is. It's a new moon eclipse with the south node there. This is about going into the dark to see what it is you want to release and surrender in your life. And you might want to do that from a Jupiterian angle, which is with a perspective of wisdom and inner knowledge and deep truth. And from that inner knowingness, you are able to let go of that spouse that's no longer right for you. You could do that. Jupiter's opposite Pluto in your marriage house. You get let go of that job. Jupiter and the eclipse are squaring Chiron. You don't like that career path. It's time to release it. You could even potentially let go of a home. So letting go of any of these things in August probably won't happen. The seeds of that releasing are being planted. So consider all those things are possible for you. Now, that is the biggest story in the second week of the month, and it happens to occur on the 12th. But as you're getting ready for that build up and as you're preparing yourself for the 12th of the month, there are a few other energies that are interesting and worth paying attention to. Venus is extremely active in what is an opposition to Neptune and a trine to Pluto around the 9th and the 10th, just before the eclipse kicks in. Let's go take a look at that, shall we? So when we get to around the 9th, you're going to notice that Venus, as she's moving through Libra, where she will have entered on, she moves into Libra, her home kingdom, praise the Lord, on August the 6th, 7th, around that time. And she had been in debility in Virgo for about a month before that. You might have felt really difficult. Leo's a crunchy energy around your money, earnings, and savings. Again, maybe some expenditures. But now here we are on August the 6th. She's moved into her home kingdom of Libra. And as she does that, she begins to talk with Pluto. Now that's a trine to Pluto, which is very positive, but it's also something to do with power and love, love of power, power of love. And it may involve a spouse. It may involve trips and travel. It may involve siblings. It may involve some changes in your relationship to a significant other. And it also could do that in the way of what you do socially with that person, where you go, what you are doing in hanging out mode. But with the opposition to Neptune retrograde, there is a releasing of any illusions about significant committed love partners in your life. You might be going through a disillusionment, but it feels like you need that knowledge or you need that understanding. Jupiter is on your side. You got fairy godfather watching your back. Good for a year of good health, by the way. Just, pay attention to all your symptoms and you'll be fine. And so whatever this Venus Pluto thing is, it's powerful. If you were single and you were looking for a relationship, then they could bring a soulmate love story. Yeah, you could fall into a very profound relationship with somebody. You say, I feel like I've known you forever. And that could be transformative and turn your life inside up, upside down, regeneration, renewal, really a powerful new story. But if you're going to meet that person, and it could happen around the time I'm talking about, which is around I'd say the 7th to the 10th, you're probably doing some traveling or you're meeting them in your local neighborhood or a sibling or a cousin introduces you. And just doing online dating could work for you as well. So if you want to online date around that time, say 7th to the 10th, even of August, you might meet a very powerful and potent new love story. And with Jupiter trining your house of romantic love and witnessing your marriage house, it's okay to start a new relationship on the first week or two of August. Then we have the eclipse itself that happens, as I mentioned, around the 12th, and it's going to actually be perfectly exact at 20 degrees of Leo. And that's your reset button, and it's a busy story. Mercury's entered your sign now. Remember I mentioned him earlier, spending like 2+ months in your 12th house, and now he's actually moved on. So this is not a bad vibe for you. You like Mercury here because with Jupiter, you have big ideas, big plans, bold ideas. Your communication and the way you speak to the world is bold and declarative and inspiring and captivating and leaderful. If you were a politician, it would be pretty powerful. And the energy of Mercury supports Jupiter in your life. Like the two of them, he is a messenger of the gods, and he delivered Jupiter's messages from Mount Olympus. So you're delivering your messages to the world. And isn't a nice feeling? So Jupiter will be working with that energy alongside Mercury from August the 9th until August the 25th. So those are the times that you are working with that mercurial energy. And then on the 25th, he moves into his home sign of Virgo. And for about 3 weeks, will help you into mid-September with monetary decisions as well and actions, and maybe even making more money than you normally do. All right, so let's talk about the next week of August for you, what I think are the highlights of that third week of August. Now, I want to, before I talk about that third week of August, mention one more thing. I had to find all my notes. I'm old school, guys. I have notes on my desk, If you want to take this eclipse and look at it, I'd advise you not to, especially because it's your sign. Even if where you live, the total solar eclipse is visible, in the ancient tradition, it's advisable not to witness the eclipse. So please don't watch the eclipse. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? So just keep your eyeballs off of it. Watch the replay. All right. So at your own peril, watch the darn eclipse. Okay? A lot of good news coming into your life on the 13th and 14th of the month. There's a nice sextile between Mercury and Venus. Good news about a sibling. Good news about your writing projects. Good news about your social media sphere. If you're in the social media world, you're getting a nice little boost here. I'd like the vibe of feeling like good news, happy news, sibling news, travel news, feeling good about your social media world. All that good stuff happens here. And it will be very nice to feel that energy after the eclipse. And this will be felt by you on the 13th and the 14th of August. Now let's go to the third week, which is the 14th to the 21st of August. In that window of 7 days or so, these are some of the major themes that you encounter. One, Mercury will conjunct Jupiter for extremely good news, but you're delivering it. You're likely not receiving it. If it's your Leo sun, it could be really good career news. Leo moon, really good news about babies, home, children, domestic life, property. And if it's a Leo rising, you are like having something really good happen. Like you could be telling people something very positive and dispensing good news outwardly, but you could also be receiving it to some degree. If you're having good news as a Leo rising, you're likely having the mercurial good news come to you about windfalls, pennies from heaven, good news connected to a sibling one older than you, or even good news connected to just money in general. And that's a nice feeling. Mercury is with Jupiter. You're going to like it. And it's at 10 degrees of Leo. Closer your sun, moon, or ascendant is to it, the more powerful it may feel to you. And as we move on to the rest of the month, we're going to find out that there is a bit of a Venus-Jupiter love up as Venus moves through here and gives some Jupiter some kisses. So you're going to feel this one around the 16th, 17th, 18th of the month and of August, and that can feel like an extension of that good news. Right now it's like everything's glowing and oh my gosh, what are you doing? Are you traveling with siblings? Are you traveling to see siblings? Are siblings traveling to see you? Are your children traveling to see you? Are you traveling to see your children? There's some multiple ways this could work. It just feels good being in your skin, even when there was just an eclipse that you did not look at. Right, because I told you not to. All right, then the next thing I want to mention for the Leos in August is that we're all going to feel this, so you're not the only one. And normally I wouldn't even pay attention to it, but it is important because Venus has been hobnobbing over here with Neptune, and now there's a square from Mars. Mars can be a real break in an illusion or a delusion that you were holding. And maybe a kind of like a reality check as well. And it could be around international themes, a sibling two older or one younger, or siblings in general, or maybe a decision to go in a new direction with regards to something that you thought was important to you. And it may deal with writing, communicating, publishing. It could have to be an educational turning point decision that may feel hard, but you're coming into a reality check. So think about reality check level, important decision making coming up around the 15th to the 18th of August. As we move forward into the third week, and I'm not covering fourth week, we're not covering every single thing here, or this video will be way too long. So we're going to move forward now and talk a little bit about the energy of Venus opposite Saturn on the 20th. We are moving toward the third week of the 20, we're moving to the end of the month, obviously. So we're on the 20th of August. So Venus has been doing you solid. She's been working really well down here in her home kingdom. But after she got reality checked out a bit with the Neptune story about a week earlier, here we are coming on to about the 20th of August, and she's giving you the 18th to the 21st of August. A love is hard, money is hard, pleasure is hard, friends are hard, travel is hard, siblings are hard energy. Something is coming up that feels difficult, but Venus has a stronger edge over a debilitated Saturn. In fact, Saturn is in her she's the exaltation lord here, like this is Saturn's exaltation sign. So there is some kind of mitigating sweetness to it. So she might be calling Red Rover over and telling Saturn to get away from the ninth house, drop your religion. So don't worry about that international travel. Come do this local thing, travel locally, study in a skills-based college. So forget about Harvard, or come over here and have more fun with the local crew, the friends, the family, the cousins. This is enjoyable energy. And Saturn is a big raining on the parade. You might have some kind of administrative job or duties, like an assistant to people in power, a second in command. If you're any of those kinds of professions, it's weighing you down. And as you approach that 20th of August, 3 days and before, 2 days after, you're going to make a decision, and it's going to be the pursuit of pleasure over hard work or difficulty. You're going to want to have more fun. It's a really good time to travel. but you might want to choose more domestic and local travel as well. It's good for travel regarding children and siblings as well. Okay, so travel is a yes, but don't go off to far off lands and shores that are, exotic. You would want to stay in your own country for that travel. It's my advice anyway. Okay, so we're going to drill into the last half of the month towards the 21st to the end of the month and talk about the highlights for you. And don't forget, if you like this kind of content and you haven't liked and subscribed yet and you're still listening, would you consider liking and subscribing? And everything about me is in my description box, my Patreon, my Substack, my classes, everything I do. I love teaching, so check it out below. Okay, so we're moving into the next stories for you, and we do have one more eclipse coming, and I will touch on that for you as well. So the first thing I'm noticing as we approach the last third of the month is that you're going to notice the sun, your ruler, is hooking up with Mercury on August the 27th. You can't miss it, guys, because it's like cosmic reset button as the sun and the sun and Mercury together is called a cazimi. This is a reset button where you're going to get some idea, some news, some information. I don't know what it is. And you're going to notice that whatever comes to you when Mercury and the sun are joining together, let me get it a little closer to when it happens in Virgo, right around the 27th there. You're going to notice it's about a money turning point. It may be information, it may be news, it may be some kind of idea. It could even be a job opportunity, but it's about your money. And it's not just about the day of the cazimi, August 27th. It's going to last longer than that. It could unfold over up to 5 or 6 weeks after, where you're seeing yourself reset your finances, earnings, resources, the way you make money. And in this chart, you almost may reset your dietary habits and patterns as well, especially if you're trying to cut, end, and sever addictions, where Mars is traveling now through the sign of Cancer, where he will be helping you slice through addictions and cut away addictions from August the 11th till September the 28th, or self-undoing and bad habits. So I can see dietary changes here, the hookup with Mars. And I can also say that you have an eclipse across the way, and that also doubles down on a change in your money story. So that eclipse will be occurring on August the 28th, the day after the perfect cazimi. Mercury gets information and you need to know about your finances, and then kaboom, we see a eclipse and it's lunar. There is a change, a light shining on your taxes, your finances, your inheritance money, money that connects to your shared resources with your partner, spouse in business or love, or even alimony, spousal support, payment checks, division of assets. So now you've got this big spotlight. Think of a lunar eclipse as like an eerie light, like, this. Don't like you have luminol in a crime scene to see the blood spilled on the floor and you get a purple glow with a type of light. It's like to see the thing that was always there, but you couldn't see it before now. It is definitely on the money front. There's no doubt about it. And it happens to also square Uranus. So there's a money front, massive change energy for every Leo that may come through as a surprise. But Uranus could bring that surprise through a sibling one older than you. Uranus can say it's a windfall or a penny from heaven eclipse. And so that is a lunar eclipse. And it will take, maybe about 2 to 3 weeks before the eclipse to feel what it is, and up to probably 3 months after to get the fullness of what it's for. But there is a big turning point in your money story. Thank you, Mercury. Thank you, Sun. Thank you, Eclipse. And Uranus delivers the shock, the awe, and the surprise. It doesn't have to be negative. Mercury's in his home kingdom. He's going to do as best he can to deliver what this Gemini territory gives you. It's a surprise. I think of a Jack in the Box, and it's a money surprise, and it may be positive, especially given that there's a big trine between Venus and Uranus. Now, I didn't cover that in any detail for you just because, Venus is not your main ruler. But if you were to go back to August the 12th, when we had that eclipse, there was a really tight surprise trine that was positive connected to the eclipse. This is still working. This isn't done until Venus is leaving your Libra sky. And so until she does that leave taking of the Libra sky, you're not going to at all know the full extent of what this cosmic surprise might be. So we wanted you to buckle up for that one. Let's get the Libra sky story complete. She's leaving Libra on, yes, September the 10th. So until September the 10th, you could come into some money, basically, like a windfall, pennies from heaven, a cosmic and positive surprise. Let's round up the month with the last detail, shall we? We'd love you to be happily surprised. And not only is Venus going to try to gin up a flowing surprise, but as well, the sun is also going to square Uranus, like I said. So you can't, any which way do it. There's some late August money surprises coming to you. And the very end of the story I would like to mention is that you're moving into a period starting around August the 28th, where your hard work and diligence can pay off, because Jupiter begins to trine Saturn for the whole last 4 days of August. And so this Jupiter Saturn trine, and I like it if you have to apply yourself to something and you've got to do it. So starting even around the 24th, you could either have awesome, auspicious, heart-filled travel to distant lands and shores. It could even connect to siblings, and that's wonderful, it could even be to local travel with Venus creating the wedge to Saturn. So that's a nice vibe. If you want to plan travel, plan it from the 24th of August to the end of the month, and you'll be great for that, even up till September. Traveling is sanctioned with Venus, and she says, yes, please travel. I'll make you have a lot of fun. Short distance or even a little bit longer, August the 7th to September 10th. So we can see the last week of August favors travel for sure. And the other thing I wanted to mention, though, at the very end of the month, is that you're going to notice that the sun is squaring Uranus. Well, sun is your lord, right? The lord of Leo, the boss of you, the planetary ruler of the Leos. And it's going to also deliver yet another money surprise. So yes, we keep getting surprises for the money story. We keep seeing something happening here. And that is that Cazimi energy that we talked about. So I'm going to nail it down. The last week or so of August, money surprises, hopefully favorable. I think they will be. An eclipse in a money house and the possibility for awesome travel. Those are things that I consider important for you. And if travel is connected to seeing children or getting close to children, traveling with your children, sibling travel as well, to see or by your siblings, all super blessed after August 24th, all the way through with Venus's blessings till September 10th. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully you enjoyed the ride. Watch my channel, like and subscribe. I will be covering a lot more detail about the eclipse on my channel as a separate video with advice for each sign in much more detail. I will also be talking about a lot about the node shifting signs for 18 months in a separate video that you don't want to miss that. So please subscribe. Please like, and all of those new people who somehow found their way here from Amrit Sandhu's Inspired Evolution, welcome to my channel as well. It was so much fun being on his show, and he'll be on mine soon as well too. And to all my regulars, thank you for hanging out with me and being here again, and I'll see you on the next video. Every year I teach Sky Reader in the fall. It's always in September. It's usually 6 weeks long, and this time we're going for 7. We're taking it a little slower, giving you a very kind of leg up first week, which we take the pieces of the sky and teach you to read them in a very constructive and well-paced manner. This is my favorite class to teach. When I teach Sky Reader, I always feel so excited because you have learned to read your own sky. You now know what your chart is all about, and you know how to read the basic language of astrology for your friends, family, and your children, whoever you want to share it with. No, we're not professionally certifying you. At Lunatic Astrology, and I'm your teacher, Lori Lothian, we're teaching you to fish so that when you listen to me on YouTube and you're getting all of that guidance, maybe you can also get your own. We don't want to move against the sky. We want to move with the sky. We want to move in the area of our lives that brings us flow and ease, because the sky supports that. And by having a knowledge of what the sky is saying, and relative to our own natal sky, we are able to operate at a new level. That level is about flow. It is about not arguing with what is happening and moving in the direction of what wants to happen. It is so darn simple. Life is full of ups and downs, but if you know that there's a swamp, 2 doors away, and if you walk that way, you're going to get stuck in quicksand, you can avoid that. If you go to the left instead of the right, there's a beautiful meadow with a lake. Why not take that path? The sky is always grabbing us. It's called the grahas, or the grabbers. The planetary planets, like where they're going in the sky, the transits, that moving heavens, the moving stars, the map of time is a map of where we should avoid getting stuck and where we may move forward with freedom. And the grabber part of planets is that they're like almost like celestial teasers, right? They want to grab us and make us move in a direction. Sometimes it's not in our highest and best good. And I don't mean in a conscious, malefic way. I just mean you can take something like Neptune and make it all about transcendence and spiritual union and high creativity and imagination. And you can take it all the way down to drug addiction, and destitution maybe, and even things to do with mental challenges, health challenges. So you can operate at all levels of every planet. In Sky Reader, we show you your highest potential. Now, this is an introductory class. If you want to come to Sky Reader to be your own astrologer and time your best life, then you're coming because you are curious astrologically. You're not coming because you've already taken some heavyweight courses under your belt. You're coming because you've been listening to my channel or other astrologers, and you've always had a curiosity about learning, and you've always wanted to learn to read the sky, which is the map of time. So I'm hoping some of you will come join me there, because I've graduated hundreds of students so far, and the feedback is wonderful. And I invite all of my students, former, to come back every year and play around in redoing the course for 75% off, because I think the more you do it, the more you deepen it. We have guest teachers every year. When you join Sky Reader, you get the archived vault. In other words, you can go back and watch other guest classes in astrocartography, the astrology of relocation, and things to do with zodiacal releasing and more. We have these guest teachers coming in this year, are so much fun. We have a guest teacher about the love codes, Donnie Lim of astrology, learning to read your Venus story. We have a guest teacher coming in about medical or wellness astrology. We have another one showing us about how to choose the perfect day to do something, day and time to like launch your website, get married. That's called electional astrology. We have what's your purpose, dharma kind of thing with another teacher. So what we're doing is we're giving you a lot of content. What you're doing is you're taking time to learn, but also to hold on to that content forever. It is evergreen. Once you have it, you never don't have it. If it's over your head at first, you won't be over your head when you take a second stab at it. Weekly Q&As, different time zones, so we can get people around the world in those Q&As. We alternate between evening and night every second week on Wednesday nights, and usually they're at 5:30 or 6 p.m. Pacific time. We also have the idea that the class itself is now happening at 9:30 a.m. in Pacific time on Saturday, starting on the 19th of September. So that's wonderful. We have a Facebook group and a Discord group that we have moderators running, where you can meet other people who are learning astrology, share your notes, and get to meet some new astrologically curious friends. Who knows, you might meet your soulmate there. And we're also taking you through a journey that is sequential, from learning to read the sky to being able to use two very profound timing tools to help you understand your reality and begin to move forward with ease and grace. The feedback from Sky Reader year after year has been phenomenal, and every time I teach it, I learn to make it more simple, more well-paced, and more easy for you to grasp. So I'm in 7 years of doing this. I think I'm getting it down finally to a fine art, thanks to you guys. I'm going to show you the website just so you see what it looks like. I'm now moving most of my content to LoriLothian.com. It used to be somewhere else at Padaya. If you're there already, nothing is taken away from you. At this point, though, I'll show you the new website so you can take a gander at what the sky looks like over there, what my site looks like. And I hope to see some of you in class. I always say this, and I'm not making this up. You might probably think, oh, that's a sales pitch. Oh, I might not teach this next year. That's not true. I always wonder if I'm just going to retire and start to write books. And my agent wants me to write a book. And so I have a lot on my plate to get done in this life. Legacy is to leave a book behind. So for me, when I say I may not teach this next year, Lori may not teach this next year. Okay. All right. So this is the website, LoriLothian.com. If you go /sky-reader, you'll be at the introduction to the course and the enrollment page. We're on a discount code right now until the end of July. Well, it's not a code, it's just a discount. There's 40% off the full price. And then in August, depending on when you hear this, there'll be another lower price, not as discounted as July's early enrollment price, but by September, it will go to full price. So make sure that you get in this class with a discount if that's something you're looking for. So you can see this beautiful website was created by my team. I think it's gorgeous. Learn to read your sky. And then there's a preview of what we have going on. So when you get into the course backdrop and you're there, you're going to have like stuff already waiting for you, a little tutorial on how to cast your chart in whole sign houses, free meanings of the 12 houses PDF. And I have what I call your Astro Toolkit. And I'm always adding more stuff to that toolkit. You don't need a professional software. You can use Astrocom, astro-seek.com. Time passages, these are free softwares. This is not requiring you to purchase professional software in order to learn in my course. And you'll see that we have the toolkit here. These are elements that go in, how to cast your chart in whole sign houses. These are already in the back end of the program. Your cheat sheet pack, 12 signs, 12 houses guide. This is just learning tools. This is all going to help you learn. For most classes, I'll be putting together a handbook to help guide you through each class, which is new this year, kind of a prompts, a questions, things to fill out so that you can use it as a kind of self-study tool. Just print it out on a PDF on a computer. I'll aim to keep it black and white, of course, so you don't have to worry about color. And then we see that the Astrology 101 is we set you up really slowly. I call it the slow start, where we're really going to build the basic building blocks together so that when you come off of week one, you are like someone who went to kindergarten to learn the alphabet. You're going to have the basics in your toolkit, in your understanding already. And then we talk about the various parts of the sky, the big four, the 12 houses, dignity matters. Planets have dignity. You want to understand that. Otherwise, there's nothing you're going to understand without that. Dignity matters. We're also using whole sign houses, and this is ancient Hellenistic astrology. The focus will not be on the outer planets because we can't use them as time lords. And so it's not that there's anything wrong with the outer planets, but they're not good for timing your best life. Unless you want to live 248 years, says Pluto, 164 years, says Neptune, or 84 years, says Uranus. They're not the most timely tools, right? Solar returns is one of the things we do, and we learn about the perfection ages. Now, you may think I know all about my solar return and my perfection age. I don't think you do. I embed in some advanced tools there for you that you won't probably find anywhere else after like 8 years and thousands of clients, nonstop teaching and seeing real clients in the trenches. I have figured a few things out, and I always like to share what I figured out with you guys so that you can also use those tools the way I do. There's always bonus content here. And so you get from me, not to use until you've taken Sky Reader, the birthday chart advanced course as your solar return, the annual perfections advanced course, and how to find people in your chart. Where's my mom? Where's my kids? Where's my husband? Where's my siblings? How to find the planets that represent those people in your chart. That is also a part of a course that I've taught that I give you as a part of your bonus toolkit. Okay, so I hope you guys will go over. I hope you'll have fun if you come to study with me. I would love to see you there. When I talk about teaching, without a doubt, it is my favorite thing to do. It gives me a joy, actually. I remember years ago, I went to see a psychic reader in Coquitlam, Canada. That's outside of Vancouver. She looked at me as I walked in the room. This is like 15 years ago. And she said, teacher, 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 you are a teacher. At the time, I was a magazine editor and a writer, and I had no idea what she was talking about. And look at her today. She was right 15 years later. That is my passion. That is what I do. Hope you'll join me. I'll see you guys in Sky Reader, and let's have some fun learning together. Everyone have a very good, wherever you are, day, month, or year.
Lunatic astrology.